And then I found some beautiful things to support me in that introspection period. One, I started doing the artist way,
Oh, I
and
did
I don't know
too.
if you did?
Yeah. I'm on week 5.
Okay, I'm on week 10.
Oh, you go.
So
Amazing.
I will say a few people have said they stopped around week 9.
Mm,
Just keep going. That is when your blocks and your fears and, like, all the things that are really stopping you, like, come forward,
okay.
and it's just very synchronistic. So anyone that is feeling blocked, please go do that. It's a book, but it's like a 12-week soul searching. You will find out so much about yourself, and just know that, like, there's ebbs and flows of it, right? Like, sometimes you're like, "Whoa, this was so deep," and then other times you're like, "I want more. I want more
Yes.
answers,"
Yes.
and that's just, like, our impatience coming through. So I love that you're doing that, yay for you. I was like, "I'm not an artist. Why would I ever do that?" When people would bring it up, but, like, the more I dove into it and the more it kept popping up, so it came to me at the perfect time. And then I was also a part of this group called the Spiritual Integration
Mm.
Intensive. And so it was this group that we would just, like, ultimately have themes each week, and we did journaling prompts, but it was so synchronistic how, like, all of us had very different lives, but always dealing with the same things. Having those things in the introspection time to help you come back home to yourself is also important. So I love that you're doing the artist way. How did it come to you? Like, what was that?
I've done it before. I did it
Okay.
my, like, big spiritual awakening occurred when I was 26, and I all of a sudden had this realization, a bunch of illusions were shattered in my life. I was like, "Oh, I've been living with an eating disorder for 18 years. Ooh, I've been, like, living in shame spirals for so many years," and it really then set me on this path of, like, "Well, how do I heal? How do I take care of myself?" And I was living in Austin, Texas at the time, and this shop that I just was obsessed with, the shop owner had the Artist Way in there, and I was looking at it, and she's like, "I just did that. That's actually how I got to the path to open up my own store. I always wanted to own my own store. I was always terrified. I did this book, and it helped me get through all the blocks to get there." And I was like, "I'll do anything that's gonna help me figure out who I am, what I'm supposed to do, how do I get rid of all these, like, really deep blocks within me." And so it was a profound experience when I was 26 when I did it, the summer of self struggle. Once I started getting kind of out of that, I was like, well, how do I now open up again? How do I come back to that center of, like, true inner knowing? And while I am a tarot reader and I love the tarot and I use it all the time, it's not always going to give you the depth of what you need. And so sometimes you have to do that deeper work. And the Artist Way provides you with so many tools and prompts in order to do that.
Yeah, I love that. Mine was I had been taking my kids to the library, and I actually was like, "I'm not getting any books this time." And the time before that, I said the same thing, and then this one book just came to me, and again, it was, like, the perfect book that I needed, and then someone was just talking about The Artist's Way, and I walked in and I saw it. I think the most synchronistic thing I'm trying to take the word crazy out of my vocabulary, I feel like that is something blocking me. So the most synchronistic thing about seeing it there is once I got it, like, 12 people were on the wait list, so I don't know how I got it. I ended up buying it because you could only take it out for, what, a month, and so I ultimately was like, "This is something I will always have. I will have it in my life." This would actually be a great thing to do every summer.
It really would be.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it with a group of people too. I'd love, like, a weekly club where we
Let's do
meet.
it.
Yeah.
Let's do an Artist Way mastermind. Let's
Yes.
begin May next year. We'll put it up there, see what comes from that
Yeah.
because I would love that so
It would
much.
be so great, and accountability, there's a lot of work to do with it, and I
Yeah.
do encourage people whenever I'm recommending it to a friend or something, I'm always like, "Hey, it says to do all these things every single day and be pretty dogmatic about it, but, like, know yourself. I'm not gonna journal before I've had my coffee." We've already discussed how important coffee is in my life. In the book, she's like, "The first thing you do immediately upon waking," and I was like, "I can't do that. That doesn't work for me." And so finding out your own little, like, formulas to help you get through it is important, slash, I think an accountability group would be great.
I love that you brought that up because I actually have an accountability group that I found in a business program. And somehow, like, we all got put together. We're all very spiritual.
Oh,
Like, it just so
amazing.
happens. Totally not in that business realm. My accountability group brought it up. And so I had heard, and I'm like, okay, again, not really buying into it. But the one woman was like, don't take it so seriously.
Yes.
Like, just make sure you take what you can. I will say making sure you're taking time out to feed your artist
Mhm.
And, like, it could be a 10-minute walk outside. Like, it doesn't have to be a big thing. That's what I was doing, was I was making my artist date this, like, over the top thing, and then I was like, "I'm not gonna be able to do that." Like, I have 2 small kids, my time is limited. Even last week, I'm gonna devote this evening to myself, and I'm not gonna be on TikTok, I'm not gonna watch the crappy TV, like, I'm just going to be with myself. That's gonna be my date, and it was great. Like, I felt so nourishing to just say, yes, it's so easy to scroll and kind of mindlessly get out of our bodies. And the other thing is you're supposed to write 3 pages.
Mhm.
I don't really
I
write
do
3
too.
pages. Yeah. Today I did a half a
Yeah.
page. I usually try to at least do 1 page. I find when I only do a half a page, right now I feel like it's unfinished.
Mhm.
I feel like there's something gonna happen today that I'm gonna come back to it. Like, that's the energy I got, and I'm like, "I'm not gonna force it, I'll come
Mhm.
back to it later." So,
Mhm.
it might be this interview, we'll
Yeah.
see what comes. Welcome to Float Activity, the channel that guides you on a transformative journey towards spiritual wisdom, self development, and healing practices, all aimed at elevating your intuition and aligning you with your soul's purpose. I'm your host, Kara Dempsey, and I'm thrilled to have you joining me as we learn together. Please subscribe and share this with a friend to help grow my channel. I appreciate you, and we'll chat soon.